Hello, my name is Frank Valiente, and in this Mini-Enthography presentation, I'm going to be taking a closer look at how audience members decode media messages using an Uber commercial that aired in 2017. Let's watch this Uber commercial in its entirety now.
We all have to be proud about who we are, because when we come together, we make a beautiful picture.
Pride to me is just everything I stand for. It's a time to spread love and positivity to all.
When you see that rainbow flag, you can't help but to feel so happy.
Pride is everybody coming together. Straight, gay, black, white. It's just a unity thing.
When I have my friends and it's pride, we stand stronger than ever.
I know it's sometimes difficult to accept who you are, but once you find that acceptance, you'll find your pride.
In order to focus audience interpretation of this advertisement, I used the research question, does this ad make homosexual people feel well represented compared to the same heterosexual demographic? The discussion method I chose was interviews. After reviewing this chart from Stokes' book, I realized I wanted to collect information firsthand from the participants. I also realized that some participants may have more to say than they are telling me at first, so I was able to remain open and willing to ask follow-up questions. I did not use a focus group because this is a sensitive subject, and I wanted my informants to be able to speak freely. Some people are not always willing to talk to each other if they don't know each other. I was also worried that a louder voice may sway the quieter voices and their opinions. So after figuring out my research question and my discussion method, the next question is how to choose my informants. Well, according to Bird, when choosing participants, it is important to find audience members who are active and passive. The quote, "Shared fandom can be immensely positive and energizing experience, which is far from isolating people, may create new friendships and a sense of community," stuck with me as well. Even though one would not consider this group fans, people who are LGBT are all about finding a sense of community, so I knew I wanted to find people who were part of the community to interview. I also wanted to satisfy the passive participant quota, so I chose to interview somebody who's not part of the community. My decision of discussion method and informants helped me answer my research question because I was able to listen to different viewpoints without anybody else interjecting their opinions. During the interviews, I found that all three of my informants are active on social media and are aware of Uber and are also aware of the LGBT community. When asked what they like about the ad, the two participants who are part of the LGBT community stated that they liked the rainbows, the allied parents, the friends, the feminine men, the masculine women, and that it was hitting on the subcultures within the LGBT community. The heterosexual cis man that I interviewed said that he liked that people were comfortable and able to be themselves. When asked what they did not like about the commercial, the answers varied from seeing stereotypical gay people to stating that they were actors, and finally saying that this is money grabbing and used only during Pride Month. When talking about the morals of this commercial, they said that this commercial shows that they should accept everybody, there's a place for anybody, and the song Just My Type really describes what Uber is trying to get out there. What type of characters did they identify with? Trans women, the bear men, and the allies in the commercial. All of the themes that were given to us by the interviewees were friendly, togetherness, and pride. This matches up very well to what Uber was trying to produce. When comparing my own analysis with my audience interpretations, I found there to be much overlap. Everyone was happy to see an ally represented in this commercial. One of the most powerful parts of the visual text is the scene where the proud dad and proud mom are. Even though none of my participants are parents, they fully understood the power behind that visual text. The one man considered himself to be an ally and was happy to be represented in this commercial. The rainbows were another part that were part of our overlapping findings. In this area, one can remember that color can also play an important role for humans. Psychological studies have shown that color influences our emotions and feelings, therefore hospitals paint rooms warm, friendly colors to make people feel more relaxed. This can be to make sure everyone feels like they are accepted. Another part that was overlapping was the inclusion of a multitude of characters from different backgrounds, all different sexualities and races. This is helping people from all different backgrounds feel more accepted. The one negative that we all agreed on was that this commercial makes the assumption that LGBT people love bright colors and fall into these preconceived categories that society has laid out for them. Another piece that was touched on with my interviewees was the audio portion of it. They liked the song. Remember, the song says "just my type," and that is bringing a happy mood to the commercial and making people feel more included in this commercial. So this brings us back to the research question. Does this ad make homosexual people feel well represented compared to the same heterosexual demographic? The answer is yes, because there are already a lot of straight ads. Having this pride ad helps representation. This yes does have a caveat to it. One needs to develop the answer with more depth. In order to get qualitative results, one could use a focus group about this commercial to learn more about how the public feels about ads of this type. Stokes said, focus group research on the media tends to address questions of audience taste and preference, and is a good method for getting an understanding of people's responses, attitudes, and beliefs about certain topics. So, one could have a couple of homogeneous groups filtered by sexuality, asking them similar questions about media and sexuality. This would be preceded by the quantitative results of surveys. Stokes said, while enthography and methods of observation can be useful in finding out about audience behavior, if you want to find out about people's ideas, opinions, and attitudes, there is no substitute for asking them through survey research or interviews. After compounding the data from these sources, one would have a more complete idea if homosexual people feel as represented as heterosexual people in media.